Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through the sources to find, the real gems of knowledge.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're looking at Zohran Mamdani's recent win. A local victory, sure, but one that might just signal, something bigger shaking up U.S. politics.
Honeyway ripples.
Yeah, so our mission here is to unpack what this means for the Democrats for future campaigns. We're using New Sodic's piece, Mamdani's Victory, Palestine's Rise in U.S. Politics.
Good source for this.
And what jumps out right away? The source says his campaign unapologetically foregrounded Palestinian rights. That's quite a contrast to how the Democratic establishment usually handles Gaza, right?
Very cautiously.
Very. Often avoids it or treads incredibly lightly.
Exactly. So Mamdani's team takes this incredibly bold stance. How did that message, which feels so different from the party line, actually, land with voters? Did it work?
It seems it did. His directness, really cut through the noise. It resonated powerfully, especially with certain groups, young voters, progressives, Muslim voters, South Asians.
They were drawn to that clarity, that authenticity,
Mm-hmm.
And here's a key detail. Polling showed a majority of Democratic primary voters in New York City, they no longer see a stance on Israel as essential for the next mayor.
Wow. Okay. That polling shift is really something.
It's a significant shift, absolutely, right there.
So attempts to tie Mamdani to anti-Semitism, which New Sodic notes happened amidst some, let's say, simplistic media takes, they didn't stick.
Apparently not, or at least not enough to derail him.
So how did his campaign handle that pressure? And what about the grassroots side? How big a role did that play?
Well, instead of being a weakness, his pro-Palestinian stance actually became a rallying cry. It sort of flipped the script.
Turned a potential negative into a positive.
Exactly. Turned what could have been, a political landmine into a launch pad.
Yeah.
And this got translated into actual votes through a really effective grassroots mobilization.
Like what specifically?
I think tireless door knocking.
Yeah.
Really robust multilingual outreach, reaching different communities in their own languages, and deep youth engagement, getting younger people involved.
Mm-hmm.
It was a broad coalition too. That's important. They had endorsements from Jewish progressive groups like Jewish Voice for Peace.
Oh, interesting. So not a monolithic block of support.
Not at all. It signaled a real diversity behind him.
Okay, so that grassroots power seems absolutely key then. So putting this all together, how does this win reflect a bigger shift in U.S. politics? Is this like a genuine turning point we're seeing?
Look, I think this victory absolutely signals a broader shift. The real bombshell here maybe is that Palestine is now, speakable. It's on the electoral menu.
Right, not just on the fringes.
Exactly. No longer confined to the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
And crucially, without automatic electoral backlash, at least not in this race. His win effectively marks the end of Israel as this, unquestioned third rail within Democratic primaries.
That third rail idea is powerful, untouchable.
Yeah, used to be. Now it seems it's open to rigorous debate, accountability too. That's a profound change from how things used to be.
Okay, so if that's changing,
yeah.
What does this all mean for the Democratic Party itself? And looking forward, how might this change the playbook for future campaigns, especially for progressives trying to break through?
Well, for the Democratic Party, Mamdani's win is a direct challenge to the moderates, isn't it? It signals a possible pivot maybe towards a deeper progressive realignment and maybe even foreign policy shifting too.
All right, realignment, okay.
And for future campaigns?
Yeah.
His people-powered model, mobilizing young voters, immigrant voters, people driven by specific issues, that offers a kind of new blueprint.
How so?
It could redefine how progressive candidates can succeed, especially in big, diverse cities. It kind of reminds you of that old saying, all politics is local.
Yeah.
But here, the local is clearly having these national ripple effects, big ones.
It really is remarkable how one single election win can sort of reveal these big shifts in political talk and strategy and maybe even speed them up for the future.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Considering this victory, what other topics, things previously seen as unquestionable in politics might be getting close to a similar turning point?
That's a great question.
And how might these diverse grassroots movements push those shifts forward even faster? Something for you, the listener, to mull over.